Hello, I'm Beetle, and I'm going to be showing you how to upload your VRChat model and just how to do all the things in Unity um, so that, I don't know, so it's a bit easier for you. Anyways, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up Unity Hub. My little icon's down there. It might look different for you. I'm using Unity Hub 2.4.2, but you can use any later version. And then you're gonna want to make sure that you're on Unity 2019.4.31 F1 because that is what is needed to upload VRChat avatars because that's what VRChat uses. And so you're gonna go new, or if you've already uploaded VRChat avatars before, you can open up like a previous Unity file and put that package in there if you know you have the shaders and whatnot and everything. But if this is your first time uploading an avatar, I recommend you make a new Unity file. And so name it what you'd like. I'm going to just call this BGB Big Cat recording thing. All right. Put the location wherever you want it. I have the 3D template checked off. And then you're going to hit create. And then for me, my Unity takes absolutely forever to load. So we're going to wait a minute. All right. After waiting a little bit, we've made it. So now we have Unity. Let me just open this here. Okay, so we have a blank Unity file open. Now that you have your Unity file put together, the next thing we're going to want to do is start importing everything we need to. So um, we'll start with, you only need two things really, and that would be the Unity package that comes with my Gumroad file, and then whatever the most recent VRChat SDK is. There'll be a download link on my Gumroad page, and so you'll be able to find the latest SDK there. Um, if you don't know what an SDK is, it's just the thing that lets you upload things to VRChat, and they update it all the time. So if you're watching this video in the future, there might be a more recent version than the one I'm using now. But the one I'm using was just made like a couple days ago, so it's quite recent. Uh, Anyways, so that's the first thing we'll want to import. So wherever you have it downloaded, you can just double click on it while having your Unity file open. To open it, some people they'll like right click and do import pack, but you can just double click on your SDK and it'll start setting that up for you. So now we'll just wait for that to get set up. Okay, so this is what you'll see after it's done, like decompressing the package and everything. And then you can just click import. If you already have an SDK installed in your Unity file and they've updated it, I would then delete your previous one, delete the folder, and then, go through the same process, double click on the Unity file and Unity package, and it'll import in there. All right, so I think, yep, we have our folder. It's right here. Sorry, I'm blocking it. And so once you see this folder here that says VRC SDK, then you are ready to import your Unity package that you got. Once this is installed, then we can get to uploading the Big Cat base. So you're going to get that Unity package. Here, I just have it here, so it's easy to click. You can have it obviously in like your file explorer or anything like that. But BGB Big Cat Base V1 is what the file will be called, and you can just double click that, and then you're gonna have to wait a bit. There's a lot of bits and bobs in this package, so just be a little patient. So yeah, now that it's all ready, you can just hit import, and so this will have has the shaders and then the Unity package, like all the stuff for the avatar. If you already have Pyomi 7.3 in your Unity file here, then you can uncheck it. But if you have an older version of Pyomi, you'll want to upgrade to this one. Otherwise, you won't be able to edit the materials how you want. Yeah, so you can hit import, and then once again, we're gonna wait for everything to get into this file here. So I'll see you in a minute. See ya. All right. So now that everything is imported, you should have a few extra folders. So you should have your Pyomi, which is right here. Then you have your BGB Big Cat Base, and then it says Scenes, your SDK. So you're gonna double click on your Big Cat folder, and then there'll be this little guy over here. It says Click Me. So you're gonna click it, and then wait for that to load up. Just all the shaders are getting plugged in and whatnot. And then this is the scene that you have. So if you just click on like the middle guy here and you hit F, that'll get you into frame easier. Or if you ever like aren't sure where you are, you can click on something here on the left and then hit F. Um, and so what we have here is we have our prefabs. Prefabs are just pre-set up variants of the base. So we've got like a snow leopard, tiger, domestic cat, lions, caracal, another tiger, and then we have this blank version here. So first we'll start off with if you want to upload just one of the prefabs and you don't want to put your own custom textures. We'll do the tiger, for example. So what I would recommend is you uncheck everything that you're not working with, or you can delete it. If you delete it from here, it'll still be in these folders down here. But so we go to our tiger, and then the next thing we're going to want to do is zero out the position. So just make sure that these three all say 0. Then we can focus in on our tiger here. And then if you don't want to make any changes to the texture, then you're ready to upload. So all you have to do is click on the avatar here, scroll to the bottom, make sure there's no blueprint ID. Then you're going to go to the top, go to VRChat SDK, show control panel, and then you're going to have this, and then you're going to have to log in. So I'm going to, and then you won't see anything. I'm going to log in real quick. All right. And then you're going to hit sign in. And then if it says allowed to publish worlds and avatars, then you're ready to upload. If it says that you're not allowed to publish avatars yet, then you have to have more playtime in VRChat. And then eventually they'll grant you access. I'm not sure the exact time. So what we're going to go to here is the builder. And everything is fine. As long as there is no red like stop sign looking logo, you're fine. And if there is a logo like that, it usually happens when you put on a custom texture. There'll be an auto fix button, so you can hit that. So you have all this. All this is good. If you want to make no changes, you just go and hit build and publish for Windows. And then here it says your avatars or renders don't all have an anchor override set. This can cause flickering and uneven lighting on your avatar in some worlds. Would you like to enable these settings automatically? The answer will be yes. And that is a great thing that Pyomi's added, because in certain worlds, for example, like my main here would look like lighter or darker, even if I did have an anchor override set, but this helps it a lot. So let's wait for that to upload. While this is uploading, as a heads up, all the avatars here, all the prefabs, they either have a medium or poor rating. And this doesn't mean that the quality is medium or poor. It's just talking about in regards to optimization. So if there's a scale, it goes from excellent to very poor. And the reason that some has a poor setting is just because of there's a bunch of materials, and that's because I've added lots and bits and bobs to this avatar. Um, and I've made it very customizable, and because of that, there's a lot of materials involved. So that's the only reason why you'd have a rating that would say poor. Um, it just depends how many things you add onto the avatar. Also, quick plug, if you do have any questions about this video or about just an error that comes up that's not discussed here, I have a public Discord server, my Bubblegum Bark Park, and you're more than welcome to join. There's a link on my pinned tweet on Bubblegum Bark Twitter. There's a link in the Gumroad. There's a link on my website. So yeah, if you ever have any questions, feel free to join there because it is quite helpful. Yeah. All right. So Now we can move this out of the way, and it's time to upload. So you can put whatever name you please. Just gonna button mash, put your own description as you please. I usually credit, like if I'm doing a texture for someone, um, and I didn't make the avatar, I usually put like avatar by blank, texture by me, or anything like that, or avatar owned by, and then your username. And that's just to help with like avoiding getting ripping or anything. And then for my TOS, you can only upload these avatars as private. So as long as this is checked off private, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about content warnings unless you've done something to the avatar that you would need those content warnings, but by default you won't. And then you hit the above information is accurate, and I have the rights to upload this content to VRChat. And then you have this image as your thumbnail if you want to edit it. I'll show you what I always do. So I click on the camera. It'll show you a little camera preview here. There's these tiny little white boxes. I grab this and I zoom, and then I'll like pull the camera up so it's zoomed into the face. And then all I do is, so you can leave my Bubblegum Bark logo up, or if you want to hide it, you can just click on it, uncheck it, go back to the camera, and then I go solid color here, and I'll just like pick a color like this, hot pink. And then that's my image for the avatar. Some people do crazy stuff. You can pose it, you can put on blend shapes, little facial expressions. This is a bit of a tangent, but if you did want to do that, you can. So you can like set up a blink, and then the eyes are closed. But yeah, so then you're gonna hit upload. I'm not gonna hit upload because I already have this avatar uploaded, but you hit upload and then you should be good to go. You'll just have to wait for another scrolly bar, and then it'll say your content is uploaded to VRChat. And yeah, and then yeah, so that's how you'd upload an unedited avatar, one of the pre-made ones, like the ones that aren't in for Hub, for example, and you want your own to upload privately. You can, as long as it's private. As long as it's private. I'm gonna cut all of this out. But yeah. If you ever want to cancel what you're doing, you just hit the play button here, because that's what I'm gonna do now. Is I'm gonna cancel this, because we are not going to be. You can exit out of that. We're not going to be uploading this, but I'll show you now how to make a custom avatar with this base. So we're gonna uncheck this. All right. And like I said before, if you wanted to delete stuff, if you want to remove it from the scene, you can. And all you're going to need if you're doing a custom is the BGB blank avatar. It's got some just placeholder shade materials on here, but we're going to put our own on here. So let's show you what we've got inside here. So we've got the armature. This is the mesh for the body. These are the eye shinies. And then we have, this is the base of the main here. Whoop, we have the base of the main here, and then we also have the mohawk. And the reason these two assets are attached to the avatar is because it's paired to multiple bones. There's weight painting on multiple bones, and if I kept it separate, having to add it back on would be a lot more difficult to explain. So this is much easier. Of course, when it comes to, let's say your avatar doesn't have either of these things, okay? All you have to do is you're going to right click here. You're going to go unpack prefab completely. And you can click this, hit delete, hit this, hit delete, and you're good to go. If you did want one or the other, then of course keep it. For this one, we'll keep the mohawk. Why not? Actually, no, we won't. But see, there you go. And if you ever, let's say you've changed your mind, you've gone and you can't Command Z for some reason, all you have to do is go back to your prefabs here, and BGB blank is set up right here. And you can just drag and drop that right into your scene. The other pre-mates, if you do want to bring them back, they're in here. These are the pre-made prefabs. They're all labeled. Yeah, oh, and these are the placeholder materials just for the blank avatar. So now we're going to go to parts. So this is where you can build your own kitty cat. Let's go on to adding some parts onto this avatar. So we're going to open up this parts folder, and then everything is sorted, okay? First things first, in the accessories folder, Um, you don't have to add the collar or the bracelets. They are already pre-added on to your avatar. So if you open up the armature here, and you go over to like the collar is already paired to the chest, which is my recommendation. Some people like pairing it to the neck. I pair it to the chest. I think it wiggles less. Um, and the collar and the bracelets are already toggles in your little avatar wheel in VR chat, so you don't have to add those. But if you wanted to add an for example, a nose ring, um, you'd add it here. So yeah, let's do a nose ring. We'll grab, so we've got this closed one here, and then we've also got this pointy one. But we'll do a closed one. So you're gonna drag and drop it here into this blank spot underneath everything. If you drag it into your avatar immediately, there's always errors and it just won't show up. So we're just gonna drag everything we want here before we start moving it into the avatar. So let's say we want a nose ring. Now when it comes to cheeks, we've got lots of different types of cheeks here. Of course, feel free to take your time to look through it. All these cheeks are on the Substance Painter file. So just keep track of what you texture in Substance Painter, and then you'll know what textures match up to what cheek pieces you want. But we'll do tiger cheeks. Let's do these ones. So we're going to drag and drop these tiger cheeks here. Here, we're going to make Beetle. We're going to make me. So we'll drag and drop the cheeks. As long as you don't change the scaling in this original prefab, everything will line up perfectly. So I would recommend, if you did want to change the scale of your avatar, do it after you've already attached all the pieces that you want, because that'll make things a lot easier. So that's the cheeks we'll pick. Then you can pick chest tuft. We've got lots of options there. Yeah, we'll do a chest tuft. We'll do this little guy here. Then we've got ears. We've got 3 different types of ears. We've got our little kitty ears, we've got big ears, and we've got just classic big cat ears. So we'll do those. Then there's lots of different hairstyles, lots and lots. Of course, pick whatever you please. We are gonna do. We're gonna do the little hair puff. So you can just, once again, you're dragging and dropping it into the blank area here in your hierarchy. It's called the hierarchy. Down here, not up here, down here, just so it enters the scene, which is what we're looking at here. So we've picked some hair, and then these are parts for if you're using the main base, main as in MANE, for like a lion, for example. So we've got 3 different hairstyles to go in the front of the mane, and then we also have some cheek fluff that goes well with the mane. Of course, you're more than welcome to use it without it, but I think it looks a little weird. But anyways, we'll get rid of that. And then tails. So we've got 6 tails to pick from. For Beetle, I actually have a little nub tail. We've got 2 different nub tails, but I like this one for Beetle. And so we'll do that. And then those are all the parts that we're adding. So now let's move on to how to attach all these things, because currently if we move this guy around, nothing's going to move with it. So what we're going to want to do is, we've already unpacked BGB blank. Okay, I would recommend naming it whatever you want it to be. I'm going to button mash. Then we're going to open up the armature. So you can hold Alt and click open the armature entirely, but I think it's unnecessary. So we can just go one at a time. So starting with the hip bone here. Hips is where you're going to pair your tail. So you have your tail here. You're going to grab it and drag it on top of where the hips are. And that will pair the tail to the hips. You don't want to pair the tail anywhere else. Otherwise, I can't guarantee that the tail will stay attached. So to the hips. And then all these items are already set up with fizz bones. So I wouldn't mess with anything there unless you know what you're doing. Because you can really mess up parts like this that aren't attached directly to the mesh. So yeah, everything. And you can tell if something has fizz bones because it'll have all these like fun little circles and stuff. So like if you click on this, for example, if you click on this, for example, you can see all the fizz bones here. You even got them in the whiskers. I'm gonna cut that out too. Anyways, so next then we're gonna click open the spine. We're gonna go to the chest, so you can guess where what goes there. That would be the chest tuft. So we're gonna grab and drag the chest tuft here. It'll be next to the collar, because like I said, I like pairing the collar to the chest. Then, and this should be self-explanatory, things that are attached to the head will be paired to the head bone. So that would be the nose ring, the cheeks, the ears, and the hair. So we can hold shift and select all of them, or you can go one at a time and you just drag and drop it onto the head like so. And then if those are all your parts, then that's great. So if you wanted to now, you can change the scale of what you're working with if you wanted. So you can do like 2, 2, 2. You can have it ginormous. But as you can see, like all the parts stay added. Oops. Sorry, it's my numpad. All the parts will stay attached now. So next thing we're going to want to do is work on our materials. So if we head over to materials here, so we have all these pre-made textures, right? But if you want to change one of these textures and drag and drop your own texture onto it and then drag it onto the body, that's fine. But the way that I would recommend doing it, in case you want to access those textures again later, is so we'll go to prefabs here and we have all these blanks, right? So we can start with the body, which is already added onto here. Now, this avatar comes with emissions, and the way you can test it is by checking off the directional light, and you'll see like what still has emissions on it. But if you don't like that, feel free to turn it off. So we can turn it off. And what we're going to do now is you're going to want to put your textures in. So if you've made a texture through Substance Painter, you can export it out into PNGs, ideally 4K texture, so that would be 4096 by 4096. And you're going to bring them in here. So let me do that myself. For me, I'm just going to drag and drop my textures just right into the Unity file here. And then wait for that to drop in. All right, so now we have our textures. So what we're going to do here is, so we have the blank body, and we're going to grab your texture for your body. You're going to put it right here onto main texture. Same goes for what's considered what we call the extras. That's what would go here. We're going to turn off the emissions for that as well. And so that would be like the eyes and the whiskers and the paw pads and all that good stuff. Then we also have the eye shiny. If the material's locked like this, just click unlock shader. You'll know it's locked if you can't touch it. So you just hit unlock shader, and then you'll be able to access it. Just give it a second. There we go. So you can drag and drop the texture you want on there, and then that material will be edited, and just drag it onto your eye shinies. There you go. And then this is what I have here. It's called blank other. So as you can see, there's a few other types of materials, 3 more that we need to make. So that would be the ears, the tail, and then whatever extra parts there are. And so what you do here is you click on the material. It's kind of hidden here. Click on the material. You're going to hold Control and then D, and it's going to duplicate the material. So for me, I would do that 2 more times. And then what you can do here is you can grab the first blank other, then go to the next one, and the last one. And you can drag and drop the materials where you need them to be. There we go. Put that there. Put that here. And then as you can see, we need a material for the nose ring, and that already exists here in materials, and accessory materials. So we have a gold shader and a silver. Beetle would definitely wear gold. So we'll do gold. Um, and then these are the color that already comes with the avatar here. That is a toggle. The default is this blue color, but there's also a gold variant that you can drag on, and then we also have a silver. Um, but maybe once again, I'm biased. I really like the blue. And then the bracelets are actually, they're a solid color with a hue shift. So it's almost animated where, as you can see here, like the color will change like so. It's happening slowly, but it is happening. So you have that. So those are on the bracelets. But once again, you can put whatever texture you please. Just make sure that the color is turned off before uploading, unless you want it on all the time. If you want it on all the time, have it like that. But if you want it off sometimes, make sure to upload it with it off. Okay, and so if this is all set, you've added your textures. The last thing we get to go through is blend shapes. So this is where you can adjust your avatar like so. You can, give yourself eyelashes, do whatever. So let's go over some quick blend shapes. For this avatar, the way you can check blend shapes is on individual objects. So sometimes the ears have a blend shape. So I'll show you real quick the blend shapes for. We've got the big ears here. All right, there's a blend shape. So if you click on it and it's highlighted in orange, there's a blend shape to hide the top fluff if you want them to just be big. If you want to hide just the inner ear fluff. And then also if you want to make them a bit more angular, especially for people that add like gauges or piercings or whatnot, you can have that as well. And then for the little kitty ears, there's also two prefabs, or not, there's also two blend shapes as well. One is the ears are more to the side, more like pointy cat-like, and then we also have a folded ear option, which works with either or. There you go. The regular big cat ears don't have a blend shape because they're quite basic as they are. But that's really the only like external item, external accessory that has blend shapes. Oh, and the lion tail as well, because some people may want to have no puff and just have a pointy tail, so that hides it. And then there's also, you can have a super big lion tail puff. So those are your two prefabs there. But you don't have to edit them in that prefab editor I was using. You can literally like click on the tail. And if they're blend shapes, you'll see them right here in the skin mesh renderer. So like here, for example, you see where it says blend shapes and there's a little caret. So that's what we're going to go through. Okay. So when it comes to customization for this avatar, we've got a few blend shapes. So we're going to ignore everything that's under visemes and expressions. We're going to move on to body sliders. Everything above this is all for animating and to make your avatar work. If you accidentally leave something like this on, in-game, your avatar's mouth will be permanently stuck open, and you don't want that. So a lot of things will break if you mess with these, but you can mess with everything below. So from body sliders here and below. So let's start with some eyelashes. So you can have some fierce pointy lashes like this. You could have some bottom lashes. You can always have both. Then we've also got a few whisker adjustments. You can get rid of your whiskers. You can make them longer. You can make them shorter. In VR chat, they do stretch. So there's like some things are stretchier than others, but I've made the whiskers quite stretchy because they're fun to play with. If you want that changed, you just have to go into the bone setting and turn off the stretch. So you can also shrink the nose a little. For some people that don't want brows, you can get rid of those. You can also have bigger brows. You can also have a more like square chin. You can also have a smaller chin. And of course, you don't have to go all the way to 100 for any of these. You can always just like adjust as you please. Then we've also got saber teeth. And then we have some cool curved fangs as well. And then we have some body sliders. So for people that want smaller claws, we have the hide claws blend shape so that you can adjust as you want. So if you want them shorter like this, you can do that. If you want them as they are like that, if you don't want them at all, you can do that. Then we also have a few thickness blend shapes. So we can have a bit chunkier wrist, chunkier arms, a little chunkier tummy, which you can see better from the side. Then chest. There's also, you can puff the chest out more, and you can also puff the back out more as well. And those are all options. Now, warning! If you do the chunky wrists, and especially chunky wrists, but also the chunky arms blend shape, you need to be conscious of your bracelets. And so all you'll have to do, so let's say we're going to keep the chunky wrists and arms for this, or we'll keep all the chunk. How about that? If you want to keep that, you're going to want to open up your shoulder bone all the way to forearm, and you'll see here where it says right bracelet. And if you turn it on, you'll be able to see, you can't see it very well. So there's a blend shape here called bracelet adjust, and that's just to adjust for chunkier wrists. So you click on that, and then you can turn the bracelet off again. And then you'll do the same for the other arm. But you don't have to worry about that if you're not adjusting the arm thickness. So that's just for these. And then we can go back here. Then we also do have a, if you want like a thinner waist, you can do that. And then also a chest option, like so. Yeah. And then, so that's all your blend shapes. And if everything's set up how you want it, then you're good to go. On the prefabs, you won't have to do any anything with setting up for VR chat. You'll have this will all be set up for you. Oh, I have play on. Let's turn that off. Oops. Don't work while you have play on because you'll lose all your progress. But luckily I was just showing you guys things around, so it's okay that I had play on. But yeah, so if you click here, like on your main thing, like if you click on your whole avatar here instead of clicking on like a mesh or so, it'll be highlighted in blue if you're clicking on the correct thing. So I click on it here. Just as long as you have your avatar descriptor looking like this, feel free to pause and double check. Make sure your view position is more in the muzzle than in the eyes. That's just something with the rigging. It makes the arms droop a little better. So make sure your settings look like this. View position, put however you please. You can always adjust that. Make sure you have Big Cat FX in your FX layer here. And then make sure you've got your Big Cat menu and your Big Cat parameters. You can drag and drop those in if you don't see them. And then once again, make sure you've got no blueprint ID if this is your first time uploading an avatar. And then all you have to do, and this is what I recommend afterwards when you're done, you're going to grab here where you see where I've button mashed. You're going to grab this and you're going to drag and drop it into this blank space here, and that will create a prefab. And then, yeah, all you do is, once again, VRChat SDK, control panel. Every time you put in a custom texture, you will get this error. This avatar has mip-map textures without streaming mip-maps enabled. So all you have to do is click auto fix. Wait for that to finish fixing itself, and then you're good to upload. And there you have it. It's all optimized and ready to go. No auto fix errors, and you're good to build and publish for Windows. And so just make sure it says build and publish for Windows, because if you have it set to Android build, you will not be able to upload it because Android is for Quest, and this is a PC avatar. So, yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask me on my Discord, and I have some lovely mods on there as well that are happy to help. The most important thing is just make sure you're pairing the right prefabs to the right bones. Tails to the hips, chest tufts and collars to the chest. Anything that touches the head, attach it to the head. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, thank you so much for supporting my little business. It means a lot to me. And I look forward to making more bases sooner rather than later. And if you make something really cool, make sure to show me. You can send it to me privately, or you can put it on Discord, or you can put it on Twitter, whatever you want. I just want to see it. So, yeah, thank you so much again. And yeah, I hope this video wasn't too long or anything. I just wanted to make sure I covered all my bases. So, yeah, that's how you upload my new kitty base. Enjoy and have fun. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Bye-bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye.